Happy Valentine's Day, SNA Assassinators. This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the Friday Night SmackDown Valentine's Day edition of the show. Let me tell you, it was everything but with love on tonight's SmackDown. But it was also exciting as well because we finally seen who Charlotte Flair's picking for for her match at WrestleMania 41. We also saw who attacked Jay Cargill. Well, not really, but I'm gonna get into that in just a moment. They probably showed the video footage on who could attack her though, or just something that's throwing off on us until we can, which it probably looks like they're going to lead some to that angle, like on the Elimination Chambers. And speaking of Elimination Chamber, we finally found out who's the fifth member that qualified, like on both the men's and women's, and on the men's side. I'm starting to worry about that WWE's going to go back to their original plans for this. For a feud to start from here on the road to WrestleMania, and also he got some matches that's going to be scheduled for next week's show, which is going to be in New Orleans, which is the place where that big event that I reviewed almost a week ago, which I don't really want to talk about, but was located at. And also, we got a teaser of Trish Stratus is really going to be making a return at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view because she was in attendance on tonight's SmackDown. And let's just say she got a bit physical, during the women's matches, and look like she's going to be possibly going to be competing in in a particular women's match, which I'm going to be talking about later on. And we also got some teasers with Cody Rhodes who could possibly face, in one in particular, which I like the one part because for the fact that his wrestler didn't really had a fair opportunity when the last time he was world champion, and much more. But we're going to talk about with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jackson. We're getting into the building. This is where we got Braun Strowman coming to the building, Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu. And it was like Monday Night Raw. They had so many entrances. You don't have to worry about if these guys literally have legitimate beef, you don't have to worry about breaking it up because they go into separate entrances. But since this is kayfabe, we don't have to worry about that anyways. But it just shows some realism, about beef in pro wrestling when WWE does stuff like this. But we've seen Joe Tessitore's replacement, and unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, it wasn't Michael Cole. It was the next Michael Cole himself from all the way down from NXT from the Performance Center, Vic Joseph. But this is where they showed a recap from last Friday when Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes took on Jey Uso's cousins that are the villains, in the new Bloodline members, Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. This is where they showed me one until Solo Sikoa hit a Samoan spike out of nowhere. And then this is where we got Cody Rhodes came out there to address that. Was about to ask questions, right before he did so, this is where he told the live crowd, what city they were located in. Cody Rhodes even mentioned, what was their names? What was it? The fans started cheering on to him. This is where Cody Rhodes instead did ask, it was the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. He's like, so what y'all guys want to talk about here? And then this is where he's like, well, I want to talk about my best friend and the man that won the Royal Rumble this year. Main event Jey Uso selected Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So that leads to all eyes are fixed on the Elimination Chamber, and who's gonna wrestle me in the main event of the Undisputed Championship. And I was like, gee, I wonder why he referred it to the main event. Maybe they're kind of teasing something when we nudge, if a certain Chicago wrestler is gonna be winning. But I still put my hopes up on John Cena, though. But some say that WWE may be canceling the idea of making it a triple threat between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns and CM Punk, and maybe even be just Rollins and Reigns because they got a bit too physical more than Punk did with either of them. But and then maybe you could turn this into a triple threat. But anyway, this is where we got Cody Rhodes then then after he said that is where Cody Rhodes and added saying, like, so, like, I wonder who's it gonna be. Like, that's the question is, like, will it be like the most natural athlete ever to enter the sport? Like, and that is the social media mega star Logan Paul, which fans are screaming out boos because they just don't like the guy because they think he's just a rip artist, uh, a rip artist prick on the internet. But that's where then we got Cody Rhodes and Canelo. Okay, what about my best friend, the voice of the voiceless, the most controversial man in professional wrestling, CM Punk? And that's where fans start cheering like, yeah, we want to see him fight you in the dream match for that WWE and finally get his main event of WrestleMania dreams. This is where Cody Rhodes then went on saying like there's also like the man that CM Punk cannot stand, and that is Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior. And then he's like, and of course, and the greatest of all time, like John Cena. And then this is where like none of those names unfortunately wasn't here, including Cena, except for one man that he said right before the 16-time world champion. And this is where then Cody Rhodes like whoever it is gonna be, like it's sure as hell definitely not gonna be Solo Sikoa because he's not qualified. He let alone being in the remaining qualifying match. So Solo Sikoa like you stand in this ring one on one. How long as he is like Solo Sikoa? I believe that Samoan Spike like last week wasn't definitely for me, was it? And then this is where before he can even try to come up with an explanation why he spiked him in the first place, it's where Drew McIntyre heard his name like 2 minutes ago and just came out there to see what he wanted because that's in World Professional Wrestling page 1408, if I'm not mistaken. This is where we got the Scotsman. Then it came out, and then this is where then like yeah. You're like, yeah, good to see you, Cody. Like, yeah, it's always great to see you. This is where Cody Rhodes is like, yeah, I see you in the ring. Like, it's WrestleMania season. Like, yeah, the volume. Like, I apologize. Like, you want to do this one more time? Like, you're more than welcome. All right. Like, it's okay. We do this one more time. Like, W Universe. That's where the fans like, yeah, we would like you to introduce the Scottish Warrior or Scottish Psychopath in here, like even though he's already out here. This is where Cody Rhodes then agreed to do a reintroduction, like to show a sign of respect to his former tag team partner. When I'm saying like, and this one's for you, like, and also last but not least, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, which there was a mixed reaction, which there's some fans that still cheer him because they just cannot help their fandom with him. While the other fans were booing him because, yeah, he is obviously the heel, doing a really good job of playing that role. And this is where Drew McIntyre did, like, yeah, I also be on the elimination tip. But you should have, introduced me as a former world champion, actually a multi-time former world champion, and Royal Rumble winner, and what he said, and then being the Money in the Bank ring. That's what the other accomplishment he held, other than the championship, is the Money in the Bank winner as well. This is what Drew McIntyre. Like, this is the same Drew McIntyre that this past month on SmackDown, like, stood in this week and hugged you, Cody. Like, and then tipped myself, and then what, like, because I was so worried about, and we're going to a dark place, and you try to fight me? Like, that Drew McIntyre that you referred to, because you're also the Drew McIntyre a few weeks later, right? Like, you're trying to have business with Sami Zayn. Like, you take like that Drew McIntyre talking about Cody, and then this is where Cody was like, well, like and this is where Drew McIntyre, I don't want to, and this was like, I don't want to be this way, but you've been the person, like, but I'm gonna have to remind you exactly, like, who Drew McIntyre actually is. And then this is where Cody Rhodes is like, that's so, Drew, like, really? Like, well, like, I can count on one hand, like, the man who defeated me, like, since I returned here to WWE, like, and let's say you're one of them, Drew, like, and I have not totally forgotten about that with where Cody Rhodes kind of telling the story right there, like, that makes sense because, yeah, like, wrestlers, like, most of the wrestlers that have common sense to pay attention of what went around in their career, they would definitely remember a particular match that one of their opponents in the past beat him, but they decided to just go and like kind of revisit into that path. Speaking of revisiting, like also want to advertise that we finally found like some competition for Shinsuke Nakamura's United States Championship, and like it also features into a former feud that's going to be revisited, like considering both of these guys are now on SmackDown. When the last time it was like a mixed brand feud, like with one on SmackDown, the other on Raw. Which, as a matter of fact, I remember even talking about that on my podcast when I started doing this like almost 2 years ago. But anyways, where we got Jim McIntyre gave a big smile, like saying, like, yeah, you right, like it was me. But this is where we got the Tongans came out. This is where it's like, yo, Drew, like, I got something to say to you. Like, you already got your spot in the chamber, like from a couple weeks or a week ago. And this where he's like, like, I'm all about gas, and I'm not gonna be, now I'm not going to be like, I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity like for anybody. And then this is where then fans start cheering for him, kind of teasing he's gonna be a babyface, and I like how they did like the teasers, like what we could see at WrestleMania could be Cody Rhodes versus Drew, or it could be Cody versus Jacob Fatu. I really wouldn't mind it if it was any of these two, and yeah, I just right there. So it has to be true in some capacity, even though I prefer it to be like mainly John Cena. But anyways, this is where we got Jacob Fatu like. He's like, yeah, he's gonna dog walk all their rear ends, like whoever that's gonna be qualified in the elimination chamber after he just like he's gonna do to Damian Priest and what's his name and Braun Strowman, and this was like it's a possibility, but I'm just gonna probably give it. Well, I'm not sure if I should give it 50-50. Maybe I'll say. I'll say maybe 40-40-20 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 40-40-20 perhaps. Yeah, but anyways, and I wonder who's the 20 that probably got to win. But anyways, where we got to take a fun. He's like, now I'm gonna go right through the chain. He's like, and after I go through after that, I'm going to WrestleMania with that victory. And then this is where then he added saying like that. And when he's done with WrestleMania, he's gonna bring the family gold, and that is the WWE Championship where it belongs. And then Drew McIntyre like, oh yeah, if you think you're gonna wipe me out at the chamber, how about we do? We'll give these fans a preview here at the nation's capital, like a little bit of a taste what's to come at the chamber. And then this is where then it looked like they're about to go that path, which I wish they should have went to. And even though, despite like Drew McIntyre being a heel, like and it's a heel versus heel situation, but it tells a story that Drew McIntyre never forgets. Like, and that was another good thing that we saw like there as well. That should deserve an award of some sort because. Like they tell a story that Drew McIntyre, despite being on the dark side, he's not. That doesn't mean or excuse him to give the former new bloodline members like a pass of any capacity. But anyways, that's what Drew McIntyre like. But that's where Drew McIntyre made an excuse why he don't want to get in a fight with him, which it kind of tells of him being a heel with him saying like he already got a spot in the chamber, so he's gonna wait until then. It's where he's like, now Cody, like they want to talk to you, like when I'm looking right back, and it's leaving him behind because he's a dastardly, cowardly heel in this gimmick. But this is where then we got Jacob Fatu then was spinning around with the American Nightmare with Cody giving him that that untrustworthy stare because the only thing that he wants from Cody is his title, which Cody Rhodes is like, This is what Cody Rhodes didn't say when, like if he's offering him a cup of juice, like by pouring it right in the cup, metaphorically. That's where he's like, just say when because that's all you're gonna be getting because I know you're staring at this title. Like, so here's when, like when you qualify for the Elimination Chamber and then you defeat everybody in that said chamber, you and I can fight for over this championship. And we can teach some things. Who was it that I speculated this? Like of a feud between Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa, which I talked about on the wrestling news earlier. This is where then we got Solo Sikoa. Then came and distract this showdown, which they did a pretty good job doing the teaser, even though we probably won't see neither this or Cody versus Drew. But I liked how the way that WWE handled things, like of not trying to make it too obvious, but rather than just not make it no so obvious. Just make it look like it could be any path of Cody Rhodes' road to WrestleMania. Who's gonna fight him for that belt? And it seems like we will be seeing Cody versus Solo at Elimination Chamber. They just haven't announced it yet. They probably won't until like probably next week's SmackDown. Something just tells me like to build things up into a feud between the former New Bloodline, which we saw what's his name? Solo Sikoa came out on the card. This is where Cody Rhodes was like about to go face to face on why did he attack. This is where Jacob Fatu like, I know before you get any word in for my tribal chief, I'm gonna get the first word of conversation to my cuz. And this is where Cody Rhodes like, oh, you're fine with me. You have a word. You have your word with him first, and I'll have mine last. And then this is where then Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga then left the ring. This is where then they went to the Powerful Force and all of professional wrestling. But this is where once they got done with the advert, this is where we got an appearance of a ringside interview with Wade Barrett, like doing the interview with Trish Stratus, with her being in the nation's capital, which she even announced that she's also gonna be in attendance at Elimination Chamber and her hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This where did you This is where she's like, it's one of the most exciting PLE. Like, it was like, the finalizer. It's going to be in my hometown, so why not will I be making an appearance? Like, I had to decide. That's where she was like, but the only thing I'm wondering, like, what I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be watching on the suite or on a seat, which that's a pretty interesting debate. Like, and let me know in the comments below who or what she should watch the show in attendance if that's ever going to be the case. But let's just say later on we will be seeing her could be doing something for the chamber at some kind of in a very particular special capacity. But we're just gonna get into that in just a moment. But this is where we got the first women's match, and let me know in the comments below what she's gonna be doing and what she's gonna be have something to do with. But first, we got the qualifier match with the current Women's United States Champion, Chelsea Green, like taking on the one half of the Women's Tag Team Champion, Naomi. And then this would start giving me some universe mode vibe, I guess you could say. Like with me having Chelsea Green as the Women's United States Championship, like out from Creation Community, downloaded that belt onto my game and then put it onto the division. And also have downloaded Naomi on Creation Community and being one half of Bianca Belair's Women's Tag Team Championship. Is where we got Chelsea Green to start things off with the glowing wrestler with what's her name with Naomi going for a surprise roll, which is the most devastating. This is where she kicked out of that. This is where Naomi goes for another pin, which that was also like a 2.2 count. This is where the Chelsea Green tried to stop her, saying like, hey, she's not ready, but she ends up hitting the slap right across of Naomi's face. This is where she turned around, tried to go for a sunset flip, or no, it was just a surprise roll-up of the devastation. But Naomi went for a kick out. This is where she goes for a sliding duck. This is where she hits a pony kick right to the midsection onto what's her name, Chelsea. This is where she goes for a leg drop. This is where she like a famous leg drop. This is where she hits the second one with Chelsea down onto the mat. This is where she immediately kick out at 2.3. Was it? Yeah. This is where we got Chelsea. Then we right course down. This is where she gives this is where the Naomi hilariously gave a little slap right down below, but this is where Chelsea Green not like that. This is where then she tried to Irish whip her right into the bottom left side. This is where I was like I understand what was that for, but something tells me like something like with the great one and our truth would say, I'm not sure if that's PG. But anyways, this is where luckily Matt Cardona wasn't jealous, but this is where we got Naomi and gets Irish whip right to the bottom left side, but this is where she goes for her father-in-law's signature maneuver, but it was like her version of it, with her legs right around the shoulders of Chelsea and then start rubbing it right onto her face. That's where then she hits a big meteor right after she pushed her right to the other side diagonally, like if she's her former tag partner that she won women's tag team championships in WWE, which was the last time, which I'm not sure how that went when they were those belts, even though I can't mention her right now, maybe not until the next 24 hours. But anyway, this is where we got. This is where Chelsea Green rolled out into the ring. This is where we got Piper Niven start cooling her off because she was so a little too warm and disgusted because she got hit with the smelly maneuver in all professional wrestling, which some marks would think it's the most smellful maneuver, which I think I just made it worse than just making it too generic. But anyway, this is where then we got Naomi that hits a leg sliding kick right onto Chelsea, but luckily Piper pushes her right out of the way. This is where Chelsea Green hits her with an attack from behind. This is where then we got. This is where then she throws her right back in the ring. This is where the Bianca Belair to make sure that everything's going fair, like if Piper never not going rings. But luckily that was the case indeed. This is where we got Chelsea then try to go for Irish whip right to the bottom left side. Naomi kicks her right into the face. Is where on the partial powerful fortune law of professional wrestling, but she managed to get knocked over off the top rope, sends her right to the bottom right corner side, gets her with a stomp right to the face, starts squeezing her right into the neck with the referee like, all right, stop it or else you're going to get DQ. But Chelsea Green did not really listen to her. I'm listening to him, but an Emperor came on, and this is where we saw what the powerful force would do. Like if it was a partial one, like if we still see the action, but we're seeing the commercial break on the other screen. But this is where we got Naomi then hits a crossbody right onto the current Women's United States champion. And then Bianca was like, come on, Nay. And that's where probably like, come on, Chelsea. And then Chelsea, like, and this is where he's now trying to give her some air, like, so she can breathe and not any what they call suffocations of distractions getting in her way from qualifying into the women's elimination chamber of becoming a double champion, guaranteeing it, which could likely be, well, I'm not sure if I should mention it because Shawn Fair made her announcement tonight. But it's where Naomi didn't go for a wrist lock, go for a super kick right to the face onto Chelsea. It's where the Naomi go for a springboard spin up to a big bulldog right onto the matter. This is where you got Chelsea Green fell face first, where Naomi went to the right corner side, hits the scissors kick like if she is a certain fellow African American wrestler that's also what they call a five-time that's also a five-time champion, but that did not work. It was like a 2.5 count, like a generic quarterback would call. This is where we got the glowing wrestler going for a springboard slingshotted pile driver right onto Chelsea. This is where then she with her skull right into the mat. But this is where Naomi tried to go for a split leg moonsault, but it is her signature maneuver. Chelsea Green move out of the way. This is where then we go for what they call was that a Rough Rider, like if she's her husband? This is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where Naomi gets the right shoulder up at 2.3, or was it 4? I think it was 4 actually, but this is where Chelsea Green's like what? That never gets kicked out, especially when my hubby was used to being here. This is where we got, and where the Chelsea then grab onto Naomi's legs. This is where we got what's her name? Naomi got back up, tried to go for a running bulldog, sent her right face first into and to the turnbuckle, but you know the rules of professional wrestling, lightning does not strike twice. It's where she gets backstabber by Chelsea Green. I'm not sure if that was a shot at her, like a little shot at her, or maybe that was just a genuine maneuver or whatnot. But yeah, she just executed it successfully when she got her draped right into the middle ropes. This is where we got Chelsea Green that went up right in the top rope. It's where we revenge on Naomi because they were feeling the glow. That's why they're trying to hit her with that, with like a what's that called, a top rope flying with that a rolling flip version of the what they call the unprettier or what's that? But it's where Naomi pushed her right off, tried to go for a drop kick, but it's going to push right to the bottom corner rope and get hit with a step up insecurity. Then hit an X Factor face buster. This is where we got Naomi hit the split legged moonsault right onto the bottom left corner side, try to go for a pin, but it's where we got Naomi get the 1-2-3 that way. Look, like surprisingly, there was no outside interferences like whatsoever, but yeah, your winner of this match, Naomi. And I would say I'll give this the second silver trophy of the night because the match for the number one contender for the Men's United States Championship was also second place spot, on my opinion. But yeah, big congratulations to Naomi. She joined her tag partner Bianca Belair and what's her name and what's her name like Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan and Bailey, which I believe this is going to lead up into who attacked Jade Cargill, but we're going to get into all that like as soon as like when it makes sense, like when we get to the pay-per-view and stuff. And now it's having me thinking like is Roxanne Perez really is going to be winning at the qualifier match this coming Monday. We're going to have to wait and see about that, but regardless, it's going to lead up into that particular storyline as well. It's going to lead up to that as well. But that's where we got Sami Zayn finally break his silence, like off to the subject of the women's story in the WWE, which he finally broke his silence and sent a video at home message to Kevin Owens and everybody in WWE about the updates of what's that called? Like the updates of WWE at like what happened between him and Kevin Owens, like with Sami Zayn explaining that he packed pouch and this was like I'm finally giving you an update of my conditions, like even though I should have gave it sooner and I apologize, like now my neck is not doing very well, and is putting a nerve damage and very serious questions onto about that and etc. And he's like, but he thinks the last couple of weeks have been particularly tough, just trying to come to terms and process what happened between him and Kevin Owens, and yeah, like it's all because of not helping him for the WWE Championship. And then he still point out that the goofy side of it by saying like everybody would find this as a joke, like if he betrays me or vice versa, if I turn on him, we did it multiple times, like it's our ability in our relationship, like, but this time it's different, like me and Kevin knows that, like, and you know exactly what he's doing with that package power driver, like because he's trying to get ahead, like you trying to get ahead, but that was not the only thing that was the case. Like you were trying to end my career, like it was over what, like for what cost, like over a wrestling match, like not helping you win, like and not when you were wrestling over a wrestling match, you try to end my career, like you're sprinting of. Like with tears in my eyes, like looking, I was very emotional. But with you emotionless, like with you bleeding on the void, and I was trying to get you some help, and I was checking, are you okay? Because like that could have been not only the end of your career, but your life as well. Like if anything wasn't taken happened seriously, like you know what? not with me. Like, that's how I am. Like when it comes to being concerned about a friend. But however, in your end, Kevin, you don't care about. You care about is me throwing Cody off the ladder, getting yourself right back up and winning the ladder match and becoming WWE champion. I guess that ends right there. I guess, like, the long short is, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, what I'm looking towards, like, I may not be having a career, unfortunately, but yeah, you, Kevin, like, you and me, like, we're gonna go in again, like, and I'm telling you now, like, it's not gonna be fun, like on our last encounter. So I'll see you soon. It is where they finally leads things up to what they call it, to this match at the biggest showcase event, even though they haven't announced things because that because they haven't announced that if that Sammy's clear enough to compete, which we all know that's all in kayfabe. Because if it wasn't, they were kept to specific condition that he's on, and if he really is injured, to the point that he might lose his career, and also they would have he would have made a return sooner rather than later if he was legitimately injured from the injury. But I'll let you guys to decide if you believe this is all just, if you think it's the work or it's serious injury. Let me know in the comments down below. But don't get me wrong, I wouldn't rule out if it being a legitimate injury, like that was still just coincidentally just keep him off of action, and then just in this and then this view just ended up like being like a one-on-one fight, which they had before, but it only lasted for like 2 minutes. And it was all thanks. It was pretty much Kevin Owens just getting it over with, stunning him because his best friend Sami Zayn was a joke and a conspiracy theorist for probably some might say for no reason. But anyways, where we got. This is where we got the Motor City Machine Guns came out, taking on Los Garza, which I would give it about the blue ribbon of the night, which it showed that the tag team division is at where it's supposed to be. Like, for many years of being lackluster, they finally getting their moment and being presented as flowers, all thanks to this new regime, with giving a damn about the WWE tag team division. But that's where they show the outer parts of Washington, D.C., and this is where we got the LFG newcomers, like the show, the series gonna premiere this Sunday, I believe, on A&E. This is where then we got. And where Vic Joseph was saying, yeah, I can't wait to watch it too. It looks very, yeah, it's very tremendous and entertaining to watch. Is where we got. This is where we got Angel Garza start things off with Chris Sabin. This is where he kicks him right in the gut. Start hitting some axe handles right to the back. This is where they hit double right hand to the face onto what's his name? This is where Chris Sabin tagging Alex Shelley of the Motion City Machine Gun. This is where they hit a double face hit right into the turnbuckle on the bottom right side, where what's his name was at, Humberto Carrillo, but this is where Alex Shelley tagged him. This is where he gets jawbreaker by his cousin, Angel Garza. This is where then we got Angel Garza, it was Humberto Carrillo that came in, trying to call him, but he gets flipped right to the left corner side. This is where we got, what's his name? This is where we got Alex Shelley tags and Chris Sabin, which he got Alex Shelley into a headlock on the head of Angel Garza. This is where we got Chris Sabin going for a drop kick. This is where we got what's his name? Chris Sabin going to the right corner side. He ends up getting hit with a super kick by Angel Garza. This is where he gets thrown right to the right side. This is where he gets hit with a super kick. This is where we got what's his name? Humberto Carrillo goes for a swift kick right to the midsection. This is where then both him and Humberto Carrillo hit a swift kick right to the midsection onto, was it Chris Sabin, was it? to knock him out when he was draped right into the middle ropes. This is where we got Angel Garza did a wardrobe malfunction, which was on purpose, by the way. That's where they did their pose, like they are Los Garza and also Delgado. This is where we got. But here's where we got. This is where we got Alex Shelley. Oh no, once the Adverts came on, this is where he tags in Chris Sabin. This is where Chris Sabin making a comeback. This is where he did an even pretty cool roll up, tying the arm to Humberto Carrillo into a pin. But this is where we got. What's his name? Chris Sabin to go for an elbow strike, throws him right to Alex Shelley, knees him right to the midsection. This is where we're about to go for what they call a face plant by hitting a drop kick right to the face. This is where we got. This is where they try to go for a pin, but this is where we got Angel Garza come in for the save. This is where we got. This is where we got. This is where we got a power bomb, like double team maneuver with onto what's his name, like a power bomb and a power slam right onto both Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, with Garza holding on to the former WWE Tag Team Champ, with Humberto Carrillo doing a pretty impressive springboard step up enziguri, like if I was watching 205 live again. But that's where once we got Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo trying to go for a pin. That's where we got what's his name, Chris Sabin goes for a kick out, which was a very amazing lead. Is where we got what's his name, Angel Garza go for a moonsault right on top of what's his name, Alex Shelley, yeah. But this is where we try to do. This is where we got. This is where we got Humberto Carrillo trying to do the same with Chris Sabin, but Sabin hits him right to the face, super kicks Angel Garza in the process, like boom, and this is where we got. That's where we got right into the middle ropes. This is where we got what's name, Alex Shelley. Got into the middle ropes by trying to open it up the ropes between the middle and top ropes for his partner Chris Sabin, so he get a suicide dive, which he successfully did because it is 2025 and that rhymes, and that's what my boy Simon J. Miller pointed out. So that is absolutely true. That makes sense. But that's where we got the Motor City Machine Gun, did the skull and buns, and get. It's not like I said buns. I mean the skull and bones. To get the 1, 2, 3 winner of this match, the Motor City Machine Guns. And it looks like they're going after for those tag team titles, which is probably going to turn into a triple threat match. Maybe the earliest could be at the Elimination Chamber, but the latest could be at WrestleMania. Or maybe we could see the Motor City Machine Guns could win the belts back at Elimination Chambers, only for the Street Profits to win them at the grandest stage of them all, and finally winning the championship with four long years of finally getting their moment of trying to win those WWE Tag Team titles. And they'll probably be at the grand stage of them all, and they'll finally be championship that they haven't been in 4 years. But here's where we got a hype video with Damian Priest. When that bell ring, he's gonna just go out there and get to work, and then he's not gonna stop until the job is done. Like when that time ticks, like when the bell rings, is him being victorious. But yeah, this is where we got Damian Priest, and is that he's gonna do that? He's gonna finally win, and he's like, and when that bell rings, like in the first time, like he's not gonna know who the hell that's in the ring. He's just gonna take until he gets what he wants, because he is the angry, unstable Punisher. This is where he took a sip of his drink after he was done sending a message. But let's move on to the next slide. But I want to ask you one more time before I give my prediction who's going to win. Like on that day, like on the go-home show SmackDown before the Chamber, which will probably be on February 28th, which is exactly the special day of a special someone in the family, like that's sadly no longer here, which I'm going to talk more about like on that podcast video. But let me know down in the comment section right down below. But they're coming. Samson. Hey, Super Ninja Jones. Yeah. Hey, I got something to ask you about this. Well, wait. Shh. So why is her bit emoji like that? I don't know. She's not white. Exactly. And why would she comment loud on this post? I don't know. I think she said she knows who she referring to, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know why she did that. It actually sounds like she's referring to something. Exactly, yeah. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh my, why is she really commenting in this caliber? But why is her emoji white? She's dark. I don't know. Yeah, she's more browner than that. Yeah. She's not really like Willow the Pill. It's like Shayla's mom. Exactly. Quite frankly, it does. Yeah, so this is quite frankly wrong. Exactly. You right. Should tell her to change I should. I'm gonna talk to her about that. But anyways, Assassinators, and luckily that nobody didn't reveal anything about SNA's Valentine's Day. But anyway, like back to the Valentine's edition of WWE SmackDown, like where after the adverts went off, they revealed that it's 64 days, almost like how many. Like exactly how many weeks from now? Like it's like about 9 weeks from now. Yeah, 9 weeks away from the grandest stage of them all. Like I don't know how that's the case, but yeah, it's 60. It's 64 days. Yeah, but anyways, this is where Solo Sikoa was wondering where the hell that Solo Sikoa has been. This is where then and Solo Sikoa is like I'll let you all down. I don't want to see my face in shame. Like, no, I'll let you down. I let the whole family down. Like, and this is where the souls are called. Is like, but I'm all okay now. I'm all good. Like, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to take over. Like, in this business. Like, just like we said before. Like, the only way that we do that is like we can do it together. Like, that's one. Like, but it starts with you, Jacob, and winning that qualifier match, like and going all the way to the chamber and winning that chamber and bring that title back home to the family of the bloodline. But that's where then Jacob Fatu then went up right back. That's where the so it's called Jacob. Where it's and this where he told him he loved him, and then that's where then Jacob Fatu was like, okay, like I love you too, and I worship and acknowledge you, even though you're no longer tribal chief. That's where then he walked right out. This where he kind of teased some things, like maybe what's to come for WrestleMania. Like, given the fact that we could see Jacob Fatu could win, like only for a screwy finish to happen. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what's gonna be the answer of that question. Like when this match, when the qualifier between Braun Strowman and Damian Priest goes. But before we get to that, this is where we finally seen Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, where the hell has he been? Like, it's been probably almost 2 months since the last time I saw this guy in action. Well, he was in action, but he made an appearance. And wondering who is going to be his challenger for the United States Championship, which I was like, it's about damn time. But unfortunately, it wasn't main event Jimbo Uso. Hopefully, it will be down the line, and we'll finally give him his flowers, like they're doing with his twin brother, with him finally winning some championship gold in the singles division, like they did in the tag team division. Like they can show that they're not only just a tag team, but also like in the singles star. But this is where Shinsuke Nakamura and made a challenge, an open challenge to anybody that comes in there with him like singing in his language. But this is where LA Knight then came out there, like with Wade Barrett's like, yeah, like yeah, Big Joseph, like he was like, and this is where he started pointing out his loins or tingling, like if Dusty Rhodes is coming out. But the thing is, like now, like LA Knight like had a similar phrase about that. Because LA Knight was coming out like like the reason why Wade Barrett would say that, I'm not sure my mind is like, which sounds very inappropriate to mention that if it was out of context. But this is where LA Knight's like, let me talk to you, and this is where LA Knight's like, yeah, it is like, yeah, you're playing two lies and the truth, they said it's been hiding in the shadows, and then this was like, yeah, like this way the fans are, yeah, this way, like, yeah, like let me tell you something, like you have not been, like you that you were praying for a worthy contender, right? And the fans are saying, yeah, and he's like, you said you were looking for a test, like, yeah, he's like. And that's where the fans are saying, yeah, and he was like, wrong, like, you don't need no test, because that's a bunch of BS I have ever heard. Like that, like what? Because like last time you and I were in that squared circle, like I planted your head, like in for the 3 count for the blunt force trauma, but then like unfortunately I never got that, did I? Then the fans no, unfortunately no, and this where and this what and this what like, and then here comes Tonga and Jacob that comes in here and snatch it away from me. Am I right? Fans start saying, yeah, it's right back at him. This where the like, but since it, like, I need every cross, every step, like, on the quest to come back and get that championship back. Like, but every time I do, like, but there's one thing I don't understand, to you, Shinsuke, like test for that championship. Like I'll tell you, the test right now, like the test are looking at you. The test is standing right, and then my man, like you already fed the test with everybody saying his name, with him pointing to the crowd of saying his name, L.A. not Al. And this where before he can even continue, this where we got a guy that he haven't been in the program with in probably almost 2 years now, is the A-lister himself that just immediately got traded over to SmackDown not so long ago. And that is the Miz. Jesus, like, you guys are going on with that stick, aren't y'all? Like, you like, I mean, what I meant to say, like, I was wrong. Like, no, I'm wrong. Like, but I was completely wrong. Like, a year ago, like, I did say, Knight was a fashionable pant, like, that he's a fan, but here we go, like the W in the palm of his hands. And this is what he's like, it gets just like kind of proves one thing. Like that's like you guys are not fully educated. And then this is where like yeah, like I know, like this is where the fans start chanting like, "Yes, we're smart," and this is where he's like, "Yeah, I know you're not smart," with him saying the complete opposite of what they just said because he is a heel. This is where then he's like, "Y'all are just nothing but basic and simple as y'all can get. Like you're just more simple than that Simon dude, that masked kid that knows that guy, whatever he meant by saying that. Well, he obviously did not say that. It's my version of saying it on the SNA podcast. But this is where the Miz is like I see what Shinsuke sees, and that is like that you like and nobody else like is that worthy. Like you know who's actually worthy. Like it's like, oh, like I got this. Like I'm gonna guess you say that you were gonna be. I'm gonna guess that you're gonna say something that you are a Grand Slam champion. Like you're gonna say something maybe you're a former United States champion. The other, but you're gonna say like most important that you always keep bringing up because it was when the last time he was relevant, and that was beating John Cena at the grand stage of them all back like 14 years ago, back in 2011 at WrestleMania 27. And that rhymes, so it's absolutely true. But anyways, this is where we got. You're talking about the same old stuff, but like I gotta go say like that. I'm kind of happy seeing you here. I almost forgot that you were actually here. Like really, like as a matter of fact, I believe everybody else here. Almost forgot that you. Like why don't you? Why don't you, since you're talking about John Cena, why don't you take a page out of his book, like, and start a farewell tour? And I know that everybody's ready to see you go away and go retire. And that's where the fans are, yeah, like the biggest yeah that they ever. But it's where we saw the most embarrassing response that we ever saw the Miz do in his entire career. And and it's been 5 years since the last time I heard somebody fake cry in wrestling. I thought this would never happen again. How embarrassing on the SNA podcast. And this is the first time I'm starting a review of. This is the first time I reviewed like a wrestler fake cry. But it was like, you didn't want to go away. You want me to leave? Like, oh, what was me? And this when I did. I was like, you're really doing this right now. And this is the first time I agree with it. But I was like, yeah, like that's that's very interesting. Like that could be some kind of an understatement of the night. But this word in LA Knight was like when it brought to that occasion of when I rise to that occasion of a man cries, and I gotta admit that yeah, it's okay like for a man to cry, but when that time is right. But anyway, this is where then he went back around that subject, went back to the same subject about what the Miz like in the same like when you make that table, like there's a line like where you don't do we do a little bit too far. Then we want to talk about. Like you want to talk about crybaby, like just like Drew McIntyre, like I mentioned last week, on hope that's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge of a feud that they're going to be doing on the road to WrestleMania. That's where then LA Knight's like, if we're going to talk about and if anybody that's a crybaby business, like it's got to be you and that crying succotash of a Drew McIntyre or something like that, and that's all going at neck and neck for that crybaby award. And then this is where fans are cracking up. Which speaking of award, I'm giving this the Golden Trophy of Goofy Wrestling Award. Like if it had just a little more of like an icing or a cherry on top of the very hilarious cake of professional wrestling, I would have gave it the platinum trophy, but the golden's probably gonna be good for now. But this is where we got the Miz was like I've been on the top over and over in this industry. And you know what? I tout you know why I tout my moment of beating John Cena at the main event of that year is because reminding you guys to me, which I understand what Tammy makes it, which that's something of a heel excuse from a heel. This was can you say the same? Like, well, you be cool, like we stop changing it. You realize there's nothing beneath the surface because you LA Knight, you're not on my radar. And if John Cena, call your shot, in the mid, you call his shots, and I want to warm my shot, at the United States Championship. And then that's where the man started looking at Shinsuke Nakamura, when he won the champ. And I was like, with all due respect, Miz, as much as I probably would like to see that you be that championship, back in the day, 15 years ago, you just have a track record of not beating Shinsuke Nakamura, and I'm not trying to make that as a good excuse. I'm just gonna point it out that he's looking like more of a. My point is he's looking like a victim, and he's gonna stay that way, keep taking L's from the King of Strong style. But anyway, this is where we got. I mean, it's I'm trying to elevate a title and get putting my name in that play. It's WrestleMania. You're gonna be in that top, just like you always have, in your whole entire career, just being on the sideline and being an afterthought side act. And this way, you really think you really just said that I'm on your radar? But I'm pretty sure that you just mentioned something that I said last week, which that proves that you watch every single thing that I do here on WWE. Which that makes you probably a big fan of LA Knight as well. Now let's prove that how about I prove that I deserve a shot at that United States championship? Let me think for a second. The man that was champion before me, the man that's champion now, you put the title defense together, maybe with 1 more hundred, what was it? I don't know when the last time he ever defended that title because the last time I checked, I think it was never. But when I was that championship in that particular comparison, I defended that title week after week after week, giving everybody an opportunity to try to think if they could take down the megastar. And this is where the fans are cheering, yeah, he's right. And even if he did miss a week, it'd be very rare. But this was there's a much. He was like, as much as I miss that title, I don't need that title. But the title sure as hell needs a guy like me. And he was like, my man, you ever has met you, man, you completely sucked in this business. You are the most impotent dork that that not only me, but everybody, like even the guys that no longer here, has ever seen. And do you fans think that this guy is championship material? Like nada. When he said in response, is where then the Miz was oh, he's gonna pay for me saying that. But that's where when you try to go for a clothesline, LA Knight dodges out of the way, and then just somehow amazingly then caught him, almost had him with the BFT. But this is where the Miz rolled out of the ring and pushed him right off, right before he pushed him right off and rolled out of the ring, vice versa, I should say. But yeah, this is where the Miz then to try to run in back in the ring with LA Knight. They're like, oh, are you gonna come in? Or are you just full of chicken manure? This is where the Miz like, oh, I'll show you some chicken manure. But this is where we got. This is where the Nicholas the Ridiculous come out, the general manager of SmackDown. This is where the whoa, boys. I see that. Hold the phone here. Man, Miz, and this way poke fun that he makes friends everywhere. This way, then he's and it's very obvious to me that he said, you're looking for a fight, and it's obvious that Shinsuke Nakamura is trying to look for a number one contender, in a worthy challenger. So, Washington D.C., are you figuring out exactly what I'm leading into? Then the fans hell yeah, and this way and are you thinking what I'm thinking? This where they also gave him a yeah again, if he's LA Knight, which I thought he was back in their TNA days when LA Knight was Eli Drake and he was a totally different wrestler, which I think he had a different name until he started using his real name, Nicholas the Ridiculous Aldis, without the ridiculous, and maybe even not the full Nicholas, just Nick Aldis. But yeah. But anyways, this is where then we got. This is where how about we go you go one? How about you two go 1-1 with whoever wins the shot at for the United States Championship? And what I mean now, I mean right now. And this way we do get the match after the Powerful Force came on after the announcement from the SmackDown GM. That's where LA Knight was taking them to school, basically. If they've been in this feud for probably over a year now, probably I'll say from the past, I'll say 17 months. If they've been in this feud for 17 months now, that's where Lee dodges over the Miz right into the bottom left side, hit a power slam right into the. This is where he try to go for a pin. This is where we got LA Knight yeah, y'all. Yeah, yeah, I'm about to take him, put him away with the blunt force trauma. This is where he was about to hit the maneuver, and if that did. But if earlier what happened on the match, I'll say he probably would have been double cursed. I would assume that, but since that was the match, I guess I'll give the benefit of the doubt. Which I'll say this was the official match and only works in match. That's the only thing that's the case right here. Hopefully, I don't get no criticism for saying that, but this is where he. But yeah, since that did not work the first time, but you know the rules in page 4003. If it don't work the first time, there's always the second time. That's normally a guarantee. That's where the Miz didn't hit a flapjack though. However, right to the left side, hitting throat first right into the ropes. That's where Shinsuke Nakamura still sitting in that pose, not getting tired of sitting there. Which I don't know how Shinsuke Nakamura could do that without a cramp. Maybe the real life Shinsuke is probably. Probably admittedly feeling pain for just sitting there in that post for many long minutes. And this is where we got the Miz then was trying to go for pins, but this is where he keeps getting denied with kick out by the Megastar himself. This is where he started raking over in the eyes at the King of Strong style. This is where we got LA Knight to start hitting some elbows right into the midsection, repeatedly onto to the Miz. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline. The Miz to counter out of it into a knee right to the back and hit a swinging neck breaker when she got him right from behind, which I believe that's a signature move. But this is where the LA Knight kicks out of it at 2.6. This is when the Miz is come on. And this is where then he got him right to the bottom left side, if I'm mistaken. This is where we got. This is where LA Knight started going for right hands to the face, but the Miz started fighting back with them having a mini wrestling tennis battle. This is where the Miz hit a double hands to the throat. This is where we got LA Knight that throws the Miz right into the upper right corner side. This is where LA Knight they're going for baseball sliding kick. This is where we got LA Knights are hitting the face first, right into the out on the announce table, where the fans are chanting, yeah, 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 yeah. And this is where the LA Knights like, yeah. And then this is where the LA Knights oh, once I get done knocking this keister right into this very hard concrete floor. Like I'm gonna come after you and take back what's mine. But this is where once he turned around, he gets his face first right into the on the announce table. And I was like, talk about out of sight, out of mind. This is where he throws him right to the upper right side. This is where I was like, well, I guess it's better loved and lost than never to have loved at all with the United States Championship. This is where we got the Miz starts staring over into the right corner apron. And then this is where we got LA Knight then start. This is where the Miz started doing some torturing maneuvers. Okay, I'm gonna help you out with that, but you can't always expect Uncle Julian to do stuff like this in like a butler kind of manner.
Wait.
Hopefully it won't take so long. But excuse me for a moment, Assassinator.
Now I can control this. Need something like controlling my hand. I guess I control this cam.
Ray, you need to get out here and help clean it up. You're going to ask him to help you.
We're not in that stage yet. We wouldn't always rely on our butler to clean up for us.
Okay. Next time you make a mess, I'm not going to let Julian help you. You're going to clean it up by yourself. I don't care. Don't make a mess.
Yeah, you shouldn't make a mess. Uncle, that's an age just did. All right, Assassinators. This is where we got the Miz got back in the ring. But there's a partial powerful force. We're still going for a leg striking kick. Because this is where we got. Well, you got Young with the partial effort. This is where then the partial powerful force like somehow must have been a massive fan of the Miz because he was still in the offense side despite not being touched or even getting countered or getting hit with some offensive moves by LA Knight. This is where then there go back to but LA Knight then flip right out of it. This is where we got the man that's pretending to be from Los Angeles try to go for a back suplex, but hit with the right hand right into the head. But he gets but he gets clothesline, bottom make a start. He gets swinging neck breaker. This is where we got LA Knight then dipping right to the right corner side to the left corner side. Then try to go for what they call it, the jetpack back breaking power slams, where he hits the big LA Knight elbow strike, which is the signature. What he does it on the left side, of course. But this is where we got. This is where we got LA Knight going for a suplex-like maneuver, but we did not know for sure because the Miz flipped right out of it, pushed him right into the bottom right corner side, and once he got him right into that side, you try to go for a flying clothesline. Make a kick right, give me a second. We just trip right over. Miz go for a sliding clothesline. And Miz was like, this is my night. This is where he hits his own version of the Bolivian, like if he's a male Liv Morgan. Which Liv Morgan must have been home trying to call her lawyers because it definitely looked like cease and desist, like what just happened with the Miz. Because I believe like Liv Morgan's the owner of that wrestling move in particular. But this is where we got the Miz, and then we got going at another cease and desist, like from a wrestler from the other company that he used to mentor in the original NXT days. But LA Knight picks up the A-lister, or the self-proclaimed one, I should say. And when right out of the fireman's carry, try to go for skull crushing finale, but this is where LA Knight goes for a wheelbarrow roll up, but this is where LA Knight, it gets countered by the Miz when a wheelbarrow roll up of their own. This is where he gets thrown right bottom left side. This is where they flip right back. This is where the Miz hits a DDT right in the middle. But LA Knight kicked out at 2.7, with Shinsuke Nakamura looked intrigued and entertained what's to come because he's gonna be dining on whether's remaining of the barely lifeful body, which I think I said that way too wrong. I should say he's gonna manage to metaphorically feast on the barely alive carcass, I guess you could say, of either number one contender for his United States Championship when he retains his championship, which that's in his belief that's going to be the case. But LA Knight then counted out another skull crushing finale. As a matter of fact, he threw him right to the upper left side, which he was double cursed. This is where trying to go for an elbow strike, but he gets booted right into the face. This is where we got LA. This is where the Miz tried to go for. That's where they try to go for a regular crossbody, but the Miz then. He gets countered and nearly gets hit with a power slam, but he managed to land on his feet very easily. But he ends up getting hit with an intercepting BFT, or even a BFT out of nowhere, like to give Randy Orton's RKO a run for his money. He was not done with the finishers because he went to the next one. Like if he has two of them onto his stamina, like if it's WWE 2K24, like going up in the top rope, going for his other finishing maneuver, which is that elbow drop right into. This is where he tried to go for a pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3. He earned himself a shot at the United States Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura, which I assume is going to be at Elimination Chamber's pay-per-view.
Yeah, so I'll tell nobody, look, I'll live here.
But this is where they got Shinsuke Nakamura that came in the ring, holding up this championship. Here's the only glance that you're going to be getting with this belt. This is where LA Knight's like, no, it's going to get more closer when I get my hands on it. When I beat you for that belt, this is where Shinsuke Nakamura's like, okay, I see you in the next how many days? Probably 15 days, if I'm mistaken. Big win for LA Knight, which I'll give it about the bronze trophy of the night. No, it was bronze trophy. No, it was the silver trophy because it ties with Naomi and Chelsea Green's match for qualifying for the women's elimination chamber match. So I would say, yeah, this gets silver trophy. Congratulations to LA Knight. Hopefully he either does win the match, and if not, then I hope that Jimmy Uso gets that moment of becoming his first singles championship, maybe at WrestleMania, of challenging Shinsuke Nakamura for that belt instead. And this is where we got. What's her name? Alexa Bliss and ran into what's her name? Ran into Nia Jax and Candice LeRae, and once they were talking, we saw like a very familiar staticking image that popped up in the screen out of nowhere. Which I'm not sure if they even had a QR code, but I guess they're kind of teasing what's to come with Alexa Bliss, in this particular faction that moved recently on SmackDown. But also, this is where we got. This is where we got Alexa Bliss that came in. Was like, I want to wish you the best of luck in your match tonight against Tiffany. Hopefully, he does do far better than Candice LeRae did. This is where Candice LeRae like, hey, I heard that. This is where she tried to come in. This is where she gets blocked from her attacking her, or I guess you could say, her pigtail lookalike. But it's where Nia Jackson referenced the last time they were in the program, and it was for this exact same women's championship in particular, when it was known as the Raw Women's Championship, rather than being just the women, when it went back to its original roots as the Women's Championship. This is where, but this is where we got what's her Nia Jackson said, yeah, like I'm used to used to best friends betraying me, like, and that's where Alexa Bliss like, yeah, you like, yeah, it's fun. And this is where Alexa Bliss pointed out the logic into this, and I never thought of this like could be a possibility until Alexa Bliss pointed this out herself. She was like, funny thing is about that, like if you win this title tonight, and if I end up winning at Elimination Chamber to challenge you for that belt at WrestleMania, like this. Like there's a chance that we could face him, and how fun that we could have a WrestleMania rematch. Like this time, I'll be the one in victory. And that's where Nia Jax's like, oh, do you really think that's gonna happen? And do you think that's gonna happen, or do you have other things in mind? Let me know down in the comments. But I wouldn't put that past. But at the same time, I don't think. I'm not sure if we should think too much about it, because considering we still got what championship are the qualifiers in the women's elimination chamber is going to be fighting for. But what do you think? Is it going to be for the women's world championship, or is it going to be for the WWE women's championship? Let me know in the comments. That depends on a certain women's wrestler, which is the queen of a very popular wrestling family, which is her father being the one that's starting the dynasty of the wrestling family. But that's where we got R-Truth coming up, because he was officially announced that he has been traded over to SmackDown, which we probably already knew that since last week, because he made an appearance like when Akira Tozawa was getting walked out by him because he got beaten so bad by Carmelo Hayes. Speaking of which, you will not believe why R-Truth's going to be in the match. Was a match tonight. And you know when was the last time he was in a match on SmackDown? All the way back from 2019, right? Like almost 6 years ago, if not already. Because I think it's been like around this time of the year, if not later, like in the summer of 19, when the last time he fought. So, but I know he made an appearance, including like made some very comedic appearance, like for draft week in 2024, like when he knew who exactly was Nick Aldis was when he told Kevin Owens, like, you better watch out for Nick, which Kevin Owens thought he was talking about Dominic Mysterio, because he used to call him Tom and Nick. Anyways, this is where we got and I'm gonna tell you like what was the reason why he was in this match in particular, because it was all because him and Carmelo Hayes was in an argument about when first Carmelo Hayes mentioned his nickname HIM him. But this is where when he said something about him beating Akira Tozawa, and then he proved that Tozawa he's him, which R-Truth, you know how confused he is with this, this persona, like with him being confused on and taking things out of context what people say, whether if it's about the other wrestler's nickname or a catchphrase they use, and take it, and when if he takes it out of context and take it very seriously. That was R-Truth basically did when Carmelo Hayes said the phrase, saying, I showed Tozawa I'm him. And that's where R-Truth said, no, like you're not Akira Tozawa, like you're yourself, Carmelo Hayes. Like that's why your mama named you that. And that's where Carmelo Hayes tried to make him understand what exactly he meant, but R-Truth still was not. And sorry, LA Knight, I did say, like, I'm not going to give you the platinum trophy, but I have to give it to R-Truth. He's definitely the most goofiest wrestler I've ever watched in WWE, so I'm giving him the platinum goofy trophy award of the night. But yeah, this is where it did. Carmelo's like, okay, you want to play that game? And this is where it did. And this is where it did. He challenged him that because it was earlier in the night before the show even started. This is where we got the match, and And this where the characters, and this where not character. I mean, Carmelo Hayes. I don't know why I got the tongue. This where like show he's him, but R-Truth still thinks that he's Akira Tozawa. But this is where then we got Carmelo Hayes, then would bring some offense in for the 16-year veteran. This is where he started. This is where we got R-Truth going for his childhood hero comeback maneuver, the 5-move of doom, which is the shoulder blocks and the spinning back suplex maneuver he does. That's where Wade Barrett said the most brilliant line that any commentator would say, and that was saying, like, you think he's trying to be like his childhood hero? Like, that's not just a child. He don't think that's his childhood hero. Like, he thinks he is John Cena. But that's where we got. This is where we got what's his name? R-Truth was getting ready to go for a 5-knuckle shuffle, saying you can't see me to Mello. This is where he went right to the left. This is where the Wade Barrett to point out to Vic Joseph that see, I told you. And this is where he ends up getting super kicked though by Carmelo Hayes. This is where we got Carmelo Hayes. They're trying to go for that super flexible cutter, but then R-Truth then hits a superplex stunner. I was like, man, when was the last time R-Truth hit that maneuver? But this is where we got Carmelo Hayes bounce right back to the left, right corner side, hits the pop-up toe breaker right into the face. This is where Mello only got like a 2-point, like 4 count. Yeah. This is where we got R-Truth somehow thought that probably for one moment that Carmelo Hayes had his baby, the 24/7 championship. So he hit him up with the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling, the surprise roll up. But this is where he only got like a 2.8. This is where he about to hit his childhood hero, even though he's 5 years older than John Cena. But this is where we got Carmelo Hayes flip right out of it, dunks out of R-Truth's clothesline him from behind. This is where we got Carmelo Hayes to try to go for nothing but net, was it? Yeah. This is where the Carmelo Hayes hit the shot like he did not miss this time, and he finally showed that catchphrase is completely accurate with this win. And the winner of this match, Carmelo Hayes. And he finally showed that he's him, and no, I'm not talking about he's R-Truth. Like, I'm talking about he's himself, Carmelo Hayes. He's the guy of the future. He's a future WWE champion. He's a future megastar of all of WWE. And do you think that R-Truth's going to be thinking that Carmelo Hayes going to be thinking that he's him now? Like, and do you think we saw a new feud? Which I think some of the Assassinators and fellow YouTubers are probably going to be thinking this is a downgrade for Carmelo Hayes. I think this is actually an upgrade because everybody's going to be watching this, and for those that are a fan of R-Truth and like going to be entertained by him, like it's about, like with him and his comedic self and him with his catchy rapping entrance, like with him saying what he said, say what's up, but you can get with this and you get the point. But yeah, like with his what's up, like to the fans, what the fans say right back at him, and like even put the mix of the city like that they're located at, like in that show that he always says like right into the middle of the verse, yeah, which that's pretty cool of R-Truth, like putting that, like making it like it's a remix version of that song. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below about this. But even if they don't make it a feud, like that's fine with me. Like it depends on WWE seeing if it's best for business or not. Because regardless, I would say this will probably be what's best for business, what's going to attract the fans, like your boys, the Assassin and his Assassinators. But anyways, this is where we got this is where they show like all the wrestlers that's gonna be making the special appearances of training the superstars of tomorrow, like which they were showing, like which is gonna be on A&E, like which is the LFG show, I believe. They will continue to advertise. Like they're having a different version every time they show it on commercial break. But anyways, this is where we got. Moving on forward, we got the Street Profits in the vignette, which I believe Montez Ford's starting to lose his mind. Like if he actually is Jalen Hurts, not because of his looks. Like But I think that what's his name, Angelo Dawkins, been drinking that disgusting toxic water, considering he's from Cincinnati. Like this is where he started saying like, I know, like you thought like we were just coming here to we're doing this for you. Like no, we were doing it for us. Like we. And this is where he's like, and we're not blaming y'all. He was like, and he's like, we're not blaming y'all because y'all suck. Like, no, we blaming y'all because y'all are liars. Like, trying to flame it, have your lackey sidekicks pretty deadly. Like to spread lies to everybody in WWE about like who the one that attacked. But we all know like it was like it's fully clear. Like pretty deadly, like in Los Garza, like in Motor City Machine Guns, and even DIY, like just to name a few guys, where we're coming after each and every one of you guys. And now one thing I can say about them, I'm very happy for them to finally get their moment and finally like try to go after for the titles that they've been going after, hunting for them for the last 4 years, like since the last time they won the tag team titles, of course. But this is where we got Byron Saxton backstage interview with Pretty Deadly. This is where Pretty. And it was like, y'all secured the victory. Like, y'all said y'all the tag team championship match, like, since DIY. Like, so, as you head into that next week, like, how you guys feel? This is where the elder, like, no, we're exquisite, Byron. Like, we're looking like two tasty snacks. And then let me tell you that this is their words, not Super Ninja Austin's, because he just thinks they're everything far from being a snack. But if you ask him, but this is where we got, but this is where DIY is like, wherever you guys were at, like when we needed y'all, like in that tag team match against the Motor City Machine Guns, but never mind that, like, because like to pay that debt, like whatever happens with y'all, like between Los Garza, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits, like that's gonna be on y'all. And this is where I'm talking about something I probably to tell you, like your dreams of becoming the next WWE Tag Team Championship, like are gonna be dead. Like, and after next week, like we're gonna give our entire career the proper moment, like of silence. He's like along with the fans, where then they step right back, looking like they're about to go to the portal of unknown, I guess you could say, if that makes sense in professional wrestling. But who do you think is going to win and become the number one contender for DIY's tag team champions? Do you think it will be the Motor City Machine Guns, or do you think it's going to be the Street Profits, or the Los Garza, or Pretty Deadly? Let me know in the comments. Even though they look like they're leaning towards the Pretty Deadly, and maybe they should, like, and they can hold on to those titles for a while, and then we can finally give them to the Profits, like the same tag team that was trying to become tag team champions for many, many years now. But this is where then we got Kevin Owens in response of talking about what Sami Zayn, like finally breaking the silence and sending a video message to Kevin Owens. And this is where with Sami Zayn saying like he basically just attacked me because I wouldn't help him cheat. This is where then Kevin Owens then came up and fired right back at Sami Zayn by saying, well, in his car, like I'm not really doing good. He's like, because for the last 6 months, like I've been stabbed in the back and then had my heart broken multiple times by three guys that were my best friends, 3 guys that I consider brothers, which he was referring to Cody Rhodes first, second Randy Orton, and the third guy, Sami Zayn. But anyways, it's where then I'm talking about 3 guys that I'll take a bullet for because they were actually like my brothers to me. And then this is where then Kevin Owens is like, yeah, like, and then Sammy, like now you, it's like signs that, yeah, you talking about the paper, like that your neck's hurt and you're injured, like you don't know what idea, like what's to come, like, and you're not gonna know what real pain ever is gonna feel like, but I will tell you this, and I'll tell you that I'm gonna show like what I'm gonna do when we get back. And if you want to challenge me in another fight at the biggest stage again, like yeah, we could go. Like that'll be a perfect day for me. Like let's do it. Like this is where I start. This is where I start doing the. They doing the marchy dartsy, whichever that means. But this is where Kevin Owens, but where then it just ended up being a match. That's gonna be like for in Canada, which I was like saying, why in the hell it's gonna be in Canada when it should be why it should be on the grand stage? Maybe they're gonna lead up into that, and that's what I was saying the same thing about like in a particular match that was gonna be up next. But this is where we got Kevin Owens to do that. So if you're ready or not, but in Toronto, like in the elimination chamber, yeah, you know where to find me. Well, breathing in, breathing. And he's like, and then you better be hoping like that you come out alive. But this is where we do get the next match, which is being the WWE Women's Championship between the leader of Tiffy Time and Buff Barbie, Tiffany Stratton, taking on the irresistible force herself, Tiffany Stratton's former best friend that she cashed in her briefcase on, which is Nia Jax, which they did. They made a vignette about that where Tiffany Stratton said like, and she thought I was a naive, dumb blonde, but what she did not know that I was actually had an ace up my sleeve, and then I used it to cash the cash in my briefcase. And look at me now, like it's your new WWE Women's Championship, which she's gonna be holding on to for many more months, like until that day comes. Which it might come sooner rather than later, because it looked like our theories and predictions and speculations turned out to be true. But this is where we this is where we got the WWE Women's Championship match. This is where we got Nia Jax doing right to the bottom right corner side. This is where she sent her right to the left side, hit a pop-up headbutt, which it looked very painful to even look at. Like if you're feeling that pain, this is where she threw her right shoulder first in the right and to the rear of the ring post in the inner part. This is where she threw her to the upper right corner side in the corner. But it's where she gets thrown right to the exact same, right to that spot is where we got Tiffany Stratton go for a handstand of what they call them. This is where he goes for a handstand and do a back up, but this is where she gets knee right to the back. This is where she gets hit with a big, very painful and brutal senton I've ever seen any wrestler took from someone like Nia Jax's size. But this is where we got Nia Jax picks up Tiffany Stratton. This is where we got Tiffany Stratton. This is where like I told you this was gonna end bad for you. I understand why you didn't listen to me. This is where she hit the big devastating head, but this is where she dragged right to the corner. This is where we got fans are chanting for Tiffany, like because they want her to win this match, of course. This is where Nia Jax did another big leg drop, like after a big body slam, like if she is a Samoan version of that immortal guy that everybody always keep booing out in each building that he always keep making a WWE appearance at, which you haven't seen since the beginning of the year. And let's hope it stays that way. Even though I don't have hate for this guy, but he's been known for being the most hateful man, so I'm not sure if I should have any high praise for him until like if he can change anything about it. Like which Seth Rollins kind of said in his own way. But this is where we got Nia Jax hit a running hip attack after she threw Tiffany right into the bottom right corner side. After that, a pinfall from the leg drop, body slam combo did not work. Like she's a certain female Samoan version of the immortal one. But this is where we got Nia Jax going for the senton, but this is where Tiffany gets immediately kicked out at 2.1, was it? But this is where we got the powerful force and all of professional wrestling came on, which was a commercial break, which we saw, and once the adverts came on, we still saw Charlotte Flair was watching it on their monitor in her locker room. This is where we got Nia Jax going up into putting Tiffany Stratton right up on the shoulders. This is where she was trying to go up in the top rope, trying to go for what's that called? Trying to go for what you could say is a what's that called? what's that called? An avalanche Samoan drop like she did the Bliss 7 years ago or almost. This is where Tiffany Stratton counted it into a foot stomp right off the top rope, and it was a near fall of 2.9999999 minus 0.1 away from being 3. And low key, like I honestly thought you guys were gonna win with that actual literally. Even though it's just a normal maneuver, but it's where Tiffany tried to go for a pin, but it's where Nia Jax immediately gets a kick out at 7. But this is where we got Tiffany Stratton went up right up on the top rope in the upper bottom left corner side, getting tripped over by Nia Jax, getting also headbutted by the Irresistible Force. This is where we got Nia Jax going up in the top rope. This is where I believe we got a guaranteed of an avalanche maneuver, which I believe was a Samoan drop, which I'm surprised that Tiffany Stratton kicked out of this from the Irresistible One. But it's where Nia Jax still was in disbelief, not doing nothing. With them going, this is where they went to another powerful force in all professional wrestling. And yeah, they have like probably 3 of these, like because this match lasted for probably itself alone, like I'll say about 40 minutes, if I'm being completely honest. But this is where Tiffany Stratton to take a page out of Charlotte Flair's playbook by sending Nia Jax right to the outside and hits a moonsault right off the exact same corner which Charlotte would do her moonsault maneuvers right to the bottom left side. This is where they're flying here. This is where Tiffany's trying to, it's Tiffy time. This is where did she try to go for a swan time when she got Nia right back in the ring, but still immediately gets kicked out at like 2 point. I'll say 2.6 was it? This is where Nia Jax then kicked out of it. This is where we got Nia Jax then managed to clobber her with a belly tackle, I believe. This is where Nia Jax tried to think that she was going to put her away with the Annihilator, but this is where we got Tiffany Stratton then intercepted and tried to go for a sunset flip instead. This is where Nia Jax then pushed her down. This is where Nia Jax then ends up getting hit with the Annihilator, but without Tiffany being there because she jumped pretty sooner. But this is where Tiffany Stratton was about to take the W from Nia Jax with the prettiest moonsault. But this is where the jealous pixie of Nia Jax came in and helped out, which I'm not sure if she even actually did because. Like she did and didn't, right? Because she attacks Tiffany Stratton, which it caused the DQ finish. This is where Candice LeRae tried to explain herself, which Nia Jax hears her out, but she still did not care. But she take all her frustrations out onto Tiffany Stratton, pretending that she's ignoring the fact that she's a. And the fact that what Candice LeRae did, which I thought she was completely gonna demolish her and then their partnership, but I guess fortunately for Candice LeRae, it worked out in her favor. This is where Nia Jax managed to hit the Annihilator right onto Tiffany. This is where she barked orders to Candice LeRae to get her a steel chair. This is where she tried to grab. This is where we got what's her name? Trish Stratus came in to save the day. This is where she throws Candice LeRae right face first, right onto the announce table. You heard me correctly. And she just came out of her seat and she threw Nia Jax over the top rope. It's where Candice LeRae tried to turn around when she was checking on what's that Tiffany Stratton. This is where she was getting hit repeatedly with some forearm strikes right onto the Hall of Famer, but this is where Nia Jax splashed on her and splattered right onto poor Trish Stratus. This is where the Nia Jax was getting ready to try to go for the running hip attack, but this is where we got luckily Kenny Dykstra and referees and even Jason Jordan and what's his name? And Jamie Noble was trying to stop her. That's where Nia Jax like, okay, if I can't do that, at least I can do my next best maneuver, my other best maneuver that I like doing. And that was the annihilating leg drop, but not on top rope, rather than onto the bottom corner side and landing it right onto Tiffany's back, like boom! And this where they're like, what did we say? This is where luckily they escorted her out of there. That's where we got Charlotte Flair with her new theme song that looks that's clearly more updated, which I'm not sure if it's for the best or it's even worse than the previous one. They should have kept them because the original one was at least like the very similar to her father's theme song. But that's the thing. I think they was trying to get something that totally different so she could get out of her father's shadows, which she has been for the last decade. But like with her like achieving goals and breaking down barriers and winning championship gold on top of that, and even being one of the women that ever first ever like do some do all things that women couldn't do like for the last decades of the industry. But yeah, this is where we got Charlotte Flair to grab onto what they call grab onto a microphone along with a steel chair. Looked like she was about to use it onto the current women's champion. But this is where we got. But this is where the Charlotte Flair then got on the microphone. This is where she was like, hey Tiffy, like, can you hear me? Like, because if you can hear me, like, I just want to let you know who I'm picking, like at WrestleMania. Like, and this where she quickly said it with a very clear, loud voice, saying, "The Queen chooses you." And this is where then she dropped the microphone and she was like, she basically said like that yeah, see you at WrestleMania, like soon before she did so. This is where. And where did she walked right out of the arena? This is where Tiffany started like I knew it was gonna be her, and this is where I was saying like yeah, like it was like wasn't it obvious that that she was gonna eventually gonna pick her, which it was, and we finally got a chance to see who she's gonna be facing, just like we finally got a chance to see who attacked Jade Cargill, which we're gonna figure that out at Elimination Chamber, but I'm gonna tell you what we know, updated like from Nicholas the Ridiculous, got from a source like who got a video who walked right out of the building like that attacked Jade Cargill, like which it may or may not have been them because it was around War Games, like when they wrote her off back in last November. But this is where like they showed like a picture that was walking out of the crime scene was indeed the former women's tag team champions, Raquel Rodriguez and what's her name, Liv Morgan. I'm like, maybe it may be them or it may not. You never know. Like, but this where we got Naomi look like if she was guilty of something with the way she said, I knew it repeatedly. And it's like everybody claimed it was me, but everybody probably in the locker room said it. And she must have been looking online, which was most of the sources think that it was Naomi. But I think she proved the critics wrong online. But I don't think entirely, unless it was Bianca Belair. But let me know in the comments, who do you think that attacked? Do you think it was Raquel and Liv, or do you think it was Naomi or Bianca Belair, or even both? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I'm just confused right now. But I'll probably get an answer probably at the Go Home Show, SmackDown. And I'm going to let you know who could it potentially be. We just need to continue to watch the next 2 weeks of SmackDown to see like who is exactly the guilty party. But anyways, this is where we got. This is where they were bringing the sigh of relief. This is where we got who it is. We're going to show exactly who they messing with. And I think maybe this would have me like thinking like who's going to be winning the Roxanne versus Raquel match. And some just tells me it definitely won't be Roxanne if they're going to be automatically pointing out that the former women's tag team champions are the guilty corporates that attacked Jade Cargill. But we'll probably figure out like that who's the actual attacker when Jade Cargill like points them out at the chamber match. I'll say that's my theory right now. But what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments down below. This is where we got yet another LFG commercial with the Undertaker, like schooling the new guys like on the show, like becoming the next stars of tomorrow in WWE and making a name for himself, and yeah, not even having to be and you don't have to be like the next iconic name in order to do so. But that's where we got some pretty cool fans, pretty cool signs from the fans, like saying I love WWE and some Valentine side. And the only thing I did not like, even though it had Cody Rhodes in it, that's the only probably reason why I would like it. But at the same time, I hate it because it reminds me of the team that beat my boys in back-to-back Super Bowl Chiefs, which I hate saying that right now. It's kind of giving me a headache. But enough about that. Let's talk more about the signs. Like and even have a cool sign with Vic Joseph and even Wade Barrett as well. But this is where then they move to what's her name? What's her name? Tiffany Stratton and Byron Saxton was in the backstage interview about like it ended in a disqualification where Tiffany Stratton successfully retained it, but only by a win and disqualification. Like, and I feel like if she actually fought like a champion, like retained it by a pinfall submission, like a champion would do. But this is where the Byron Saxton pointed that out, like, and I was like, yeah, like that. And this is why it's getting the bronze trophy because of that. And it looks like they're going to continue that feud, like for the women's championship, right at the Elimination Chamber. Boy, was ever wrong because look, like we saw like Trish Stratus came in. This is where she checked on the concerning one. This is where she was like I wanted to talk to you. Like that's why I'm here. Because like how about like you have problems with Nia and Candice and so do I. Like and since like Elimination Chamber is going to be in my home town, why not we work together? And this is where Tiffany Stratton's like, oh, so you're saying that we should work? This is where I believe the fangirl and the Tiffy like was screaming her head off because she immediately said like, yeah, like it's gonna be Trissy time in Toronto. That she asked like Trish was like, yep. He's like, that's what I'm saying right now. That's where Tiffany Stratton's like, yeah, like I'm ready. He's like, it's gonna be Trissy time. That's what I'm repeatedly saying it. With them showing that it's gonna be official for the men's and women's championship matches. Well, one's the men's world heavyweight championship, while the women's WWE championship is going to be on the line. It's been scheduled where Drew McIntyre started rubbing it in the face of Jimmy Uso when like they were watching on the monitor backstage. This is where Drew McIntyre, are you seeing your you like, and you had an opportunity to face Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship and to qualify in the Elimination Chamber match, weren't you, buddy? Like, yeah, you running wild, like, yeah, in Romania, you're at home, but, like, and you, man, like, and he was like, yeah, like, I'm not helping, but I want to say that you, you've been awesome to see you and your brother finally winning world championship golds in the exact same weekend. I got WrestleMania. And then this is where then he was like, but here's some advice, Jimmy. Like you look angry. You look very angry. Like, I could even see it in your eye. Yeah, it was very obvious, but I was like, he was not like that before until Drew McIntyre pointed out that he was the guy in order to crush the dreams of Jimmy Uso becoming a heavyweight championship contender or an opportunity of. Like, and this is where the Drew McIntyre, here, listen to me right here. Like sure, your career, it's going like not the way you want it to be. Like it's going real bad. And this year so far, 2025. You gotta keep it up, man. Like everybody gonna be knowing as Jey Uso is the one and only Yeet Master, while you're the no Yeet Master. And I don't think nobody would want you to it's something that I said, Jay. All I gotta do is say it to my face, but instead of saying it, he just kicked it right into his face. But I had a super kick right into the face. That's where then Jimmy Uso's like, yeah, he did this, I had to say that was done. Now it's time to yeet. This is where he did the yeet phrase, and this is where we got Braun Strowman, like everybody else that has a main event match, have a message to his opponent, before he heads out to the ring, or even before he even makes it into the gorilla position. He just started talking to them and letting them know that he's gonna be the winner of this night. But before I get into all that. This is where we got a match that was announced next week, which along with what's his name? Along with the 4-way tag team match, and what else was happening? Oh, no, I totally forgot. But yeah, this is where, but yeah, it's gonna lead up to next week as well. What's next for main event Jimbo, and I think it's going to be a rare finish that Jimmy Uso is finally going to beat Drew McIntyre. But let me know about my theories in the comment section right down below. But this is where we got Braun Strowman This is where Braun Strowman's like, I got my hands full tonight, like because I got a wild animal in the form of a world champion. Like, if people the way he talking about, talking about Damian Priest, and he's like, and I got a werewolf and a creature monster, like and I'm gonna take back being a world champion because it's been 5 long years. Because as a matter of fact, I was world champion. It's been 5 damn years since the last time I held gold, and I'm gonna run through I'm gonna run through those two, like Fatu and Priest, and I'm gonna run through all 5 of those members of Elimination and Cody Rhodes. Hope you're watching, because I'm coming for you. And this is where he came out there, and I was like, yeah, I wish that was the case about that, but this is where we got Braun Strowman heading out to the ring, and she was like, yeah, but once the powerful force of all professional wrestling came on. But this is where I made a huge blunder, and it wasn't a number one contenders tag match. I think it actually was a tag team match, between the tag. It was a championship match for the tag team championship, which was a DIY against Pretty Deadly, was it? Yeah. And let me know down in the comment section right down below who's gonna win that contest. But we're gonna get into the match, which it was super terrifically brutal, if I could say it in a very clarified way, with just 3 big men just knocking the hell out of each other's meats, onto their bodies. This is where we got. Where we got Jacob Fatu throw the monster over the top rope. And then we got the werewolf. Then went face to face with the Punisher. They started going at it. That's where we got. And where Damian Priest hit a back elbow onto him to the bottom right corner side. But that's where Jacob Fatu splashed on him as soon as he got him to the bottom right corner side. Then hit the flying elbow dive. This is where Jacob Fatu started doing the wiggling dance, which I forgot who was his idol of doing that. Because it's been posted all over social media, and my fellow YouTubers even pointed that out. Like when they made this report of a video, when they showed that Jacob Fatu is a fan of this guy, and I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to review or tell me who exactly it is, and let me know in the comments, if you guessed it was the Boogeyman, which segment, why he got that wiggling, jiggling dance. But this is where Jacob Fatu tried to go for a pin, and this is where Damian Priest go for a kick out. This is where Jacob Fatu hits strikes onto the Archer of Infamy, but until they get double crossbody by the monster of all monsters. This is where Braun Strowman then hit clothesline to both men. This is where Braun Strowman ripped off his tank top. But trying to ask who wants to jump in the ring first is where we got. But this is where we got. This is where we got Braun Strowman that hit face first right to the bottom right corner side. This is where Braun Strowman but somehow got back into place. Once the partial powerful force picture was on. This is where then we got. This is where the things start getting extreme, from being brutal. When Jacob Fatu whacking Braun Strowman's shoulder first, right into the symbol of steel steps, because there is no disqualification in triple threat matches. This is where Jacob Fatu starts standing on top of that steel steps. Then he set the sights onto Damian Priest. This is where then, you're mine now, Archer. This is where then Damian Priest I'm gonna show you. You're also mine as well, but. With an angry look, this is where then we got Jacob Fatu trying to go for a clothesline, but he gets hit with an elbow strike. This is where then he hits some leg strike kicks. This is where then Damian Priest trying to go for a clothesline. This is where Damian Priest go for a spinning heel kick because it does rhyme. But this is where we got Damian Priest trying to throw him right to the bottom right corner side, but it was a move that he already did, which was reminded by Jacob 5-2, which it was not a guarantee, and it did not strike twice. But this is where Damian Priest hits a big right elbow right to the face on the Jacob 5-2 that was way his way. Then where we got Braun Strowman to try to go for a chokeslam onto Damian Priest, but it's where we got Jacob 5-2 tripping right over, make him hit face first right into the apron, make him fall down right into the right corner side. This is where Jacob 5-2 caught him right into the middle of the ring. Hits a very dangerous that pop-up Samoa drop I've ever seen in professional wrestling. This is where Jacob 5-2 hit the suicide dive. Then he went right back on the top rope. This is where then he go over a diving swanton right on to Damian Priest. This is where he tried to go for a pin. This is where then Damian Priest immediately kicks out with a left shoulder up at 2.7. Like, yeah, this is where Jacob 5-2 was like, no, this cannot be happening. He was shocked like that Damian Priest kicked out right out of the blue at 2.8. But this is where then we got Jacob 5-2 try to go for a Samoa drop, like an avalanche version, like if he's his cousin Nia early. But this is where Damian Priest had a cymbal slap, but this is where he gets able to super kick by the Samoan werewolf. This is where he grab onto the Punisher, try to put him up right up into the, trying to go for a suplex, but this is where Damian Priest start hitting some right hands right to the face. This is where he start elbowing him right to the back of his neck. This is where he's about to hit an avalanche, what's that called? Avalanche, what's that called? An avalanche, what's that called? Avalanche, what's that called? South of Heaven's choke slam, like if it's WWE 2K23, but this is where Braun Strowman, first Jacob 5-2 countered out of it, try to go for an avalanche suplex, but this is where Braun Strowman goes for a powerbomb underneath him, like into a Tower of Doom kind of position, with all the men falling down. This is where we got. This is where then Braun Strowman then got back in the offense, throws Jacob 5-2 right to the right corner side, ducks like from up to the right side to the left side, hit a body drop like if he's making a comeback. This is where try to grab on the Jacob 5-2, but this is where he gets hit with a very snapping uppercut. This is where then Jacob then try to get back in the ring, but it's where Damian Priest then hits a signature move by stopping Jacob from getting back in, hits a flatliner right onto Alan the announce table. This is where the Damian Priest like, it's so painful, so stressful. This is where Braun Strowman make it even more worse when he hit him with a shoulder tackle right out off the top of the what they call ring announcers table. This is where we got Braun Strowman then try to go for a choke slam and verge control. This is where then he chokeslam Jacob right up onto the Alan announce table, which I don't know how it didn't budge, which it must be one of those sturdy, heavy, like hard to break tables, like which I'm trying to think of a better term, like. Well, but I'll say, yeah, like probably my point is like some kind of a very, very hard breakable metal material onto the table. That could be the reason why. But it's where Braun Strowman hit the super kick right into the face onto Braun Strowman once they got back in the ring, but right into a very familiar corner to the bottom turnbuckle in the upper right corner side. And I'm like, and that's where the Wade Barrett then said, took the words right out of my mouth and said, like, this is deja vu from a month ago at what they call Saturday night's main event, with him is hitting like not one, but not two, but three running hip attacks consecutively. This is where we got Jacob 5-2 grab onto a steel chair in hands. This is where he tried to wrap it around the neck of Braun Strowman, try to go for a running hip attack onto that side. But this is where Braun Strowman hit a big boot and started hitting him back first with the steel chair. He was like, this is where he started hitting him right into the ribs next, like with the chair, along with the back. This is where he was like, I'm going to get my retribution, like werewolf or something like the way he said, like, and this is where he's like, he said something like that. This is where he's like, it's going to be an eye for an eye. So somebody better call Rey Mysterio because somebody's about to steal his gimmick, like which was definitely like his gimmick because he didn't got full justice on it. But because we got Damian Priest Oh, no, it wasn't Damian Priest. It was It was Solo Sikoa that came in and tried to ruin everything with him hitting the Samoan spike right onto Braun Strowman, which helped Jacob Fatu to go up right up on the top rope after hitting the super kick onto Strowman. Hit a triple dip like moonsault from the bottom corner to the top. But this is where luckily Cody Rhodes came out and that's where he stopped the reign of Solo Sikoa. That's where then he came in and started throwing fists, going through a hockey fight with Solo Sikoa, like boom, boom, throwing the Samoan enforcer right in the face first onto the what's it called, the ring post, or street champ, I should call him the street champ. That's where he started hitting repeated right hands. It's where the former self-proclaimed tribal chief was down until his right-hand man, Tama Tonga, came in and attacked him like if he's Jimmy Uso. With that phrase will never get old, and let alone will be like probably be tiring to hear, because like that's how Tama Tonga like made his debut. For those that are fully aware, like why I say that, and if you're also fully aware of Jacob Fatu's debut. It all started with him attacking Jimmy Uso and kicking him out of the bloodline. Well, at least Solo Sikoa thought that was the case. But this is where we got Tama Tonga hold on to Cody Rhodes. This is where then Solo Sikoa, okay, hold him on very tight because I do not want to miss on him. And then end up hitting him, and that's ended up happening with Cody Rhodes somehow got out of the way when he was just about 3/4 away there of hitting him with the spike. But this is where he ends up spiking, what's his name? Tama Tonga's name. This is where Solo Sikoa was like, I told you to hang on to him. Like, what's the matter with you? This is where then Jacob Fatu did not like him scolding him, nor hitting him with the spike. This is where then Jacob Fatu then took offense of it fully. This is where he was like, did you really just attack? You really just attack him like that, like without knowing what Solo Sikoa was actually doing first, and letting them be the voice of reasoning. And you know how much of a hothead Jacob Fatu is. This way he was not listening. He was like, "Are you saying that? You purposely did it, but you ended up doing it anyway? How could you? Why'd you do that to my cousin, our cousin? You have a problem with the family now?" But that's where, before they even get any kind of answers, Damian Priest pushes Jacob Fatu right into Solo Sikoa, pulling a Bailey right onto both of them, like she did with Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, which we're gonna find out this Saturday, which I'm gonna talk more about on Vengeance Day, which that's the reason why WWE is there, because of tomorrow's NXT's pay-per-view. Which will be in Washington, D.C., but it's where Damian Priest's distraction worked, because he ends up throwing him throwing Jacob Fatu over the barricade in the bottom right corner side, which Cody Rhodes hit a crossroads right on the Solo Sikoa, getting his retribution from last week from him hitting the Samoan spike. But this is where we got Damian Priest comes back in the ring, but this is where he ends up nearly getting power slammed by the monster of all monsters. But this is where he flips right out of it. He tries to spear him, but this is where he hits shoulder first. Damian Priest then trying to go for a South of Heaven's chokeslam, which I don't know how he did this, which it was a guaranteed, by the way, because he tried to do it to him earlier, but this is where it ended up not working. But this time it did, and he gets the 1, 2, 3 as well to add some perfectly great measures onto the Archer of Infamy. And Damian Priest is heading to Elimination Chambers. And my biggest fear that WWE will make this into a tease of a feud on the road to WrestleMania 41 between him and Drew McIntyre. And do you think that's going to be the case, or do you think just because he's going to be getting the opportunity for it doesn't mean he's going to be leading, or anything WWE's going to be doing leading into a feud whatsoever to that situation? But then now, needless to say, Damian Priest is the 5th member that qualified next to Naomi in the women's side of tonight's SmackDown. But that's where Cody Rhodes then went up and congratulated him, shook hands, and wished him the best of luck at the chamber. With them doing respectfully while looking at the WrestleMania side, with them also teasing that, which I wouldn't mind it, but I would prefer it to be either CM Punk or John Cena, or maybe even both. I'm just saying, depending on what's going to be the plans. But that's what basically Friday Night SmackDown ended. And like I'm afraid about it, I'm not nothing against about it, which some might criticize him as much as Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble, if not even worse. But I would say, given that it was a really great show and a really great match, which gets the golden trophy, I'm gonna give it the largest amount of praise, like I gave any other matches on here, because it was the number one best of the night. Hopefully, it was nothing but more than just pushing Damian Priest to the moon and kind of teasing that he could be world champion again, but maybe this time it'll be WWE champion. It's only just a matter of months or even weeks, like when that may be. Even though it might literally be weeks, maybe just months, but overall, SmackDown was a very phenomenal show, and even though it was not in a very lovely way, like in a romantic way, which I think it was probably better, like since it was wrestling and it was Friday Night SmackDown, and I'm kind of glad that WWE changed all the stuff, like not doing these very horrendous romantic angles, like with wrestlers or personalities, like having a crush with with somebody and giving them like a Valentine's Day gift and being the gentleman and whatnot, like opening doors for the ladies or whatnot. That's the case of scenario. But yeah, I kind of glad they got rid of that and take more serious about what's going on in the in-ring action in wrestling. But tonight's SmackDown, it showed that it could be a really good show, even though it had its flaws and its blunders. But despite it, like it still was really great. It had me impressed and well sports and entertained. So that's why it's getting the 4.5 stars of the positivity. And let me know in the comments below how y'all view Friday Night SmackDown tonight. Did it need it to be like it needed to be, or did it need more work in order to be a build up to Elimination Chamber on the road to WrestleMania? Let me know about that in the comments down below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if so, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. Consider hitting the subscribe and post notification bell for more daily SNA videos. And make sure to check out my wrestling news video on February 15, 2025, where I'll be talking about the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the WrestleZone article, along with both my WWE and AEW pay-per-view review. Well, actually, AEW show's not going to be a pay-per-view. It's going to be a special, like WWE Saturday Night's main event. It's going to be Grand Slam, which is going to be down under, which I heard you're going to pre-tape it. You're going to play it right after the NBA All-Star game, like on the nighttime. So I'm not sure if I can make 100% promises. As a matter of fact, I need to look up on my little excellent source here of entertainment, which is my YT TV account. Well, it's actually my family's, because we're just agreeing to split the cost, so we don't have to pay individually. But anyways, I'm gonna look up AEW Grand Slam, what time it is gonna be a part, because they say TNT like and AEW only knows like when it's gonna be on. So I'm gonna search up AEW Grand Slam.
That's not trying to be an asshole, not trying to be an ass, but so she can't get out. She got here. I'm like, I got some of them. Don't take a copy of it.
I'm not sure like what's gonna be on in particular, but I'll probably be watching it on Max, because it's kind of confusing doing it on YouTube TV. So I'm just gonna leave it like it is, I guess, for now for that. And also, yeah, I'm gonna be talking about who's gonna be fighting, which is gonna be Switchblade Jay White and the Rated R Superstar Adam Cope. taking on John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli in a big tag team match. And also Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega for the first time going to be teaming up against Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita of the Donald Callis family. We also got what's his name? The bitch man Rainmaker himself, Kazuchika Okada, will be defending his Continental Championship against Buddy Matthews. And we also got the hometown star Harley Cameron is going to be challenging Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship. And also we got the home country, also fellow home country wrestler Timeless Tony Storm, I should say, taking on Mariah May. And since I said the nickname of Timeless, it's only fair to me calling Mercedes Moné the CEO. But anyways, it's where we got Mariah May and Tony Storm in the women's championship match and much more. But and also we got and next to an AEW Grand Slam, we're going to be reviewing NXT Vengeance Day, which we got so many matches to talk about. We got the NXT Tag Team Championship match between Nathan Frazier and Axiom against what's his name? Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura in the NXT Tag Team Championship match. We also got the NXT Women's North American Championship match between Stephanie Vaquer and champion Fallon Henley. We got Siobhan Evans against what's that? Ethan Page, and I guess you could say a vengeance match, which is for sure in a very very clear shape and form. And also we got Trick Williams also trying to get some revenge as well. But on to what's his name? What's his face? Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe, because he caused him to get an opportunity to win back his NXT championship. And he's going to be heading back into that pace when he takes out the first ever Native American NXT wrestler, I guess you could say. And also, what else? And we also got the fatal four-way match between Bayley and women's champion Julia and Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. That looks like they're not going to be no longer friends, and that friendship is probably going to end in less than 24 hours, which we're probably going to be talking about here on the podcast. And we also got the main event likely, which will be a triple threat match. Looks like it's more likely a handicap match between Obafemi and against A-Town Down Under's very own Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. But at first it looked like it's going to be a handicap, only for them to try to attempt to go for a pin. And I think this is really going to be teasing that they're going to be splitting, but they're not going to be quite there yet. They're just going to continue with the tease, with Obafemi beating both of them probably at the same time and retaining his championships as well. But let me know in the comments down below what your predictions are. Even though I basically just did a recap, but I was start pointing out the matches that's going to be on the card for both NXT Vengeance Day and AEW Grand Slam that happen to both be on February 15th, but in different locations. With AEW is going to be in Brisbane, Australia, while what's their names? NXT is going to still be in the States. As a matter of fact, they're going to be in the nation's capital, which is the capital of the United States, not only Maryland, but it's the Washington D.C. that they're going to be located at, and And what I think what's going to be happening, where the home of the presidents are located at. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, which SmackDown was in Washington D.C., of course. And what I think what's going to be happening on the road to Elimination Chambers. Now we've seen some all this development and these elements, what's going to be next, but I guess we're gonna have to wait in the next couple of weeks, and I'm gonna let you guys go right here. Thank you guys for watching to the very end. I hope you enjoyed again, and I hope that y'all had a wonderful and fun Valentine's Friday, and I'll see you all in the next video with some more SNA content. And yeah, until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. bye-bye, and I guess you could say XOs to all the Assassinators, and I see you guys later.